Hey, I'm away from my setup, so you're getting a short, easy video today, okay? Okay. Deltarune is... Do I really need to give you a rundown on Deltarune? If you're watching this video, chances are you know what Deltarune is. Come on now. Because Deltarune's been around for 8 fucking years, Jesus Christ, there's been a lot of time for the fandom to grow and to change, especially as the internet itself has grown and changed around Deltarune. But what if we went back on that growth? What if we checked out the fandom when it was still just a tiny seed in the ground, and not the half-developed kind of fucked up looking tree that it currently is? So come take a trip down memory lane with me, back to the Chapter 1 fandom, after whatever the fuck Chapter 5 does to us. I'm writing this before Chapter 5 comes out. I really don't know what it could be, but it seems like it's gonna be fucking insane. Hey, post Chapter 5 catgirlTrickster here. I expected more of an emotional gut punch, but it was still my favorite chapter so far. I liked it when the funny flower man said, "Here I come, San Francisco!" Memes are another thing I don't really have to explain to you. You know what a meme is. If you don't, yes you do. Shut the fuck up. Let's just look up Deltarune memes before a specific date and see what we can find here. I don't want to do this anymore. Most Deltarune memes from Chapter 1's release were about what you'd expect, animating the characters over memes of the time mostly, but there were a few memes that were Deltarune specific. If you were in the fandom back in the day, you probably get war flashbacks every time you see a box of Kraft dinner. I'm making fucking mac and cheese. I can't do anything. Ralsei has a gun. All of these are iconic staples of Deltarune in my mind because I was 12 and these were the funniest videos I've ever seen. Unfortunately, despite how interesting of a time it was for Chapter 1 memes, there's not a lot to talk about. These memes kind of just showed up and then were accepted into the fandom as a new part of the ecosystem. Nowadays, you have memes like Tricky Tony or Friend Inside Me that, yeah, you could probably explain in greater depth. You could make an entire fucking video about Friend Inside Me and Woody Theory and all of that stuff, but back in the day, things kind of just happened and we kind of just accepted it. I don't have a cleaner transition to the next chapter. Oh no! Demon MatPat is coming to get me! Oh no, do I have to? I have a lot of nostalgia for Chapter 1, and especially the fan-created content at the time, because it felt like it was the first community I was actually a part of, but one thing I really don't miss from that era were the theories. Oh my god, the theories. 2018 is part of what I like to call the weird era of theorizing. You could kind of just say whatever you want about any game, and as long as it was in a YouTube video and had the slightest bit of evidence, people will be like, yeah, that's probably canon. To be fair, we only had one chapter at the time, and it ended like this, so I don't blame people for going fucking wild, but holy shit, people went fucking wild. Some theories were actually right on the money, like Noelle appearing in a Dark World, and some theories are still believed in the modern day, like Deltarune Sans and Undertale Sans being the same character, just in different universes or timelines or whatever. But some of these other theories are just, fuck, man, what the fuck? What were we doing? Chris is evil. No, they're just 15. I feel like Toby kind of wrote himself into a corner with the ending of Chapter 1. Even in 2021, I was expecting more than the pie fake out. But you know what? I'm glad we got the pie fake out, because if Chris was evil, I think the story would have been a lot worse, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't help that Chris was very visually similar to Kara, and the fandom at the time didn't view Kara as the tragic tale they really are. They viewed Kara like this.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
Obviously, Chris has something more going on based on the entire opening scene of Chapter 4, but I don't think they're evil. I just think they're not telling everyone the whole story. But if you thought Chris was evil, you're gonna fucking hate, or I'll say. I swear to God, I can barely find anything online that talks about Chapter 1 evil Ralsei theory, but I know it was real because I believed it. Once again, I was part of the problem! To be fair to me, I was 12, but I was just fully convinced that Ralsei was gonna turn evil and be the main villain of the entire game. Look at the way he closes the grand door in Chapter 1. That's how evil motherfuckers close the door. He's gonna turn evil. Editing catgirlTrickster here. I hope you're ready for very tired, very unscripted rambling, because I forgot 2 entire theories somehow. If you don't really give a shit, skip to this timestamp to just get to the part where the video is scripted again and I'm talking normally. But if you do give a shit, the two theories I forgot to talk about. The first one is the theory, I don't know if it has a name, the theory where that all the dark worlds are just like, they're made up. They're all like just a fantasy game that Chris and Susie are playing, or they're like a metaphor for escapism, for finding more enjoyment in like a made up fake fantasy world than in the real world, which is cruel, which is why you would escape to a fantasy world, the dark worlds. I can't believe I forgot that one because I actually really like that theory. Like, out of all the theories that spawned from chapter 1, I am a big fan of escapism dark world theory. I still believe to this day that the dark worlds are supposed to symbolize escapism in a way. And I feel like chapter 5's ending helped spell that out for me, but we're talking about chapter 1, so I'm not going to talk about that for too long. And then the second theory that I missed was piles of Asriel's dust, which I can't believe I'm actually talking about this unironically, but it was a theory that Ralsei was... Okay, so when you kill a monster in Undertale, they don't like leave a corpse or anything. They kind of just they turn into dust. They turn into a dust. A dust. They turn into dust. So the same is presumed about deltarune's monsters. We also assume that they just turn into dust when they die. So piles of Asriel's dust is a theory that says because Chris and Asriel are siblings in Deltarune, the theory is that I think it's like Chris killed Asriel by accident, if memory serves. Like, Chris accidentally killed Asriel, and Ralsei is like the manifestation of Chris's trauma towards killing Asriel, something like that. Or like Ralsei is Asriel, it's Asriel's dust turned into a darkener, something like that. I think it also had something to do with like these things near the beginning of chapter 1. It was a very fucking weird theory. I never personally subscribed to Piles of Asriel's... Was Piles of Asriel's dust ever an unironic theory? I have to know. I'm pretty sure it was, because I have like vague memories of it being discussed in the early fandom, but I swear to God, most of my memories of Piles of Asriel's dust are people like talking about it ironically, like making fun of it because it's kind of a shitty theory. It not even kind of, it is a shitty theory. It's just a bad theory with like very little to back it up. I never understood Piles of Asriel's dust, even as a child. Anyway, unscripted rant over. We're moving on to the next chapter. Next TikTok. Wow, nothing? I mean, I know this video is supposed to be short, but goddamn. Chapter 2's memes aren't as iconic in my mind as Chapter 1's, but that's probably just because I don't want to admit Friend Inside Me is a Chapter 2 meme. Ralsei smoking a blunt, okay. Potassium, I like this one, actually. And, a third example that I can't think of. I didn't write anything in the script. I really thought I'd just have something off the top of my head when I got here, man. Fuck. The theories were also here. Evil Chris and Evil Ralsei persisted into Chapter 2. The Knight was revealed as a character, so there were a whole lot of theories about who the Knight could possibly be. Chess theory was also here. I never really got into chess theory. Sorry, all 3 people who are still fans of chess theory. Honestly, I could probably make a whole separate video about Chapter 2. The wait between 2 and 3 are the longest wait between chapters we've ever had, and the fandom just kind of went fucking wild in that time. Chapter 3 and 4's theories consisted on what the next chapter would be about, and a whole lot more Knight theories. If you want my opinion on who the Knight is, it's December Holiday, and if you disagree with me, play all of Mother 3 and then talk to me again. Hey, mid-editing catgirlTrickster here. I just cut out like a minute-long tangent I went on that was mostly about Chapter 5 and the fan reception to it. I really didn't feel like it was like it needed to be in the video, so I'm kind of just cutting it out. But I have to record a new voice line because in that tangent, I said chapter 5 hasn't really been out long enough for any concrete theories to come around. So if I do make a follow-up video about chapter 2 theories and the chapter 2 fandom, I'm gonna probably talk about chapter 5 more because then it would have more time to simmer and more theories would be created. Okay, goodbye. So that was the video. I really hope you... What the fuck? I'm house sitting and my parents aren't coming over today. Who the fuck could that be? Freeze! We're the deltarune theory police. We're here to arrest you for not believing in Rooney Night. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to respect any theory aside from Guest Night. You have the right to shut the fuck up and listen to me.
I gotta come, no girls gotta I wake up with no doing. Coolio, I can't, baby, get you and your business, simpleness. Just jump in.